Let's be honest, AI-generated images are getting so ridiculously good that our old ways of spotting fakes, well, they're just not working anymore. We're in this new world where seeing isn't always believing. So the big question is, how do we even begin to fight back?
I mean, really think about that question. It gets right to the heart of this huge problem we're all facing. When an AI can cook up a perfect, photorealistic image of something that never, ever happened, or a person who doesn't even exist, how are we supposed to tell what's real? And this isn't just some tech nerd problem. It's a challenge to how we perceive reality itself.
So why did spotting fakes get so hard so fast? Well, it's because generative AI has become an absolute master of illusion. It's perfected the surface-level details of our world with, frankly, terrifying accuracy.
These incredibly powerful systems, like diffusion models, have basically learned the syntax of reality. They know how to fake the subtle grain you'd see in a real photo, the exact way light should bounce off skin, the texture of a sweater. All those tiny cues our brains use to say, "Yep, that looks legit." The AIs are literally built to make things look perfect.
And you can see right here why the old methods are just a losing battle. For years, we've been told to zoom in and look for pixel-level mistakes. But that's like playing a game the AI is specifically designed to win. We've been asking, does this look real, when the AI's only job is to make sure it looks real? We're fighting on the wrong battlefield.
So why are we losing this fight so badly? It turns out it's because we've all fallen into something the protocol's creators call the token trap. Let's break down exactly what that means, because it's a really key idea.
I find this concept absolutely fascinating. The token trap is what happens when we get so obsessed with the pixels and textures, the syntax, that we completely forget to check if the image makes any logical sense, the semantics. The big insight here is that while AI has totally mastered how reality looks, it still really struggles with how reality works.
And this right here is the crucial shift we all need to make. We have to stop asking, does this look real, and start asking a much deeper, much more powerful question. Does this make sense? This one little change in perspective completely flips the script on detecting fakes.
The source material has this perfect analogy for it. Imagine a plastic apple. It might look flawless, the color's right, the shape is perfect, it even has that little waxy sheen. But the second you pick it up, feel its weight, or heaven forbid, try to take a bite, the illusion is shattered. It looks right, but it fails every other test of reality. That's exactly how we need to start treating images.
Okay, so this brings us to the solution. It's a game-changing new strategy called VIA-VQ. And it's an approach that stops us from just staring at pixels and starts getting us to reason about reality itself.
So instead of using a microscope to hunt for tiny pixel flaws, think of VITA-VQ as more of a logic checker for reality. It asks one simple question: is what I'm seeing even possible in the real world? It's checking the image against the fundamental rules of our universe, physics, biology, and plain old common sense.
So here's what it's actually hunting for. It's looking for those semantic errors that AI generators mess up all the time. Shadows that fall in the wrong direction. Reflections in a mirror that just defy physics. Or the classic one, a person with 6 fingers on one hand. These are the kinds of details that just don't make sense, even if the image itself looks totally perfect at first glance.
And the thing is, it actually works. The results are really impressive. When tested on major deepfake detection datasets, this VITA-VQ method showed huge improvements over the old ways of doing things. We're talking up to a 13% jump in performance. So this isn't just a cool theory. It's a proven, much more effective strategy.
Okay, so how does this whole system actually work under the hood? It follows this really rigorous multi-step process called the De Cesare protocol. Let's walk through a simplified version of this reality checklist.
Think of it like a full-on forensic audit for an image. First, it plays detective, tracing the image's origin through its metadata, its digital paper trail. Then it does a physics audit to see if light and shadows are behaving themselves. After that, a biology check to make sure the anatomy is correct. And only at the very end does it bother to look for those classic digital editing artifacts. It's just incredibly thorough.
So after this whole deep dive analysis, the protocol spits out a single simple score. It's called the veracity quotient, or VQ. A really low score, like this 18%, is basically a giant red flag, telling you there's a super high risk that the image is a total fake.
And what's so great is that this score is designed to be really easy for anyone to understand. If you see something above 90%, you can be pretty confident it's authentic. But if it's down in that 0 to 39% range, Yeah, it's almost definitely synthetic or has been messed with. It takes a super complex analysis and boils it down to one number you can actually use.
Now, what I think is really powerful about this whole approach is that it's not just for some fancy algorithm. The core ideas behind VITA VQ can actually give all of us a new set of mental tools to help us navigate this crazy digital world.
You can actually use this simple VITA checklist yourself. V is for visual logic. Do the physics checkout. I is for inconsistencies. Look for weird blurs, repeating patterns, or messed up hands. T is for technical details. Try a quick reverse image search to find the original source. And finally, A is for ask questions. Who made this? And more importantly, why?
And really, this is the most important takeaway of all. Learning to question images like this isn't just a party trick, it's becoming a fundamental skill for the 21st century. This is all about upgrading our own thinking, developing a whole new kind of digital literacy that makes us all smarter, more critical consumers of information.
Which leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. As that line between what's real and what's fake gets blurrier and blurrier, the tools we use, and even more importantly, the way we think, are going to be more critical than ever. How we as a society decide to agree on what's real will in the end define our future.